Imagine this. You're a farmer, tending to your crops on a peaceful morning. Suddenly, a pig from a neighboring farm wanders in and starts devouring your potatoes. Annoyed, you grab your rifle and shoot it. Simple, right? Well, what if I told you that this one act of frustration almost triggered a full-scale war between two powerful nations? This is the bizarre but true story of how the pig nearly led to a war between the United States and the British Empire. It all started in 1859 on a tiny, quiet island called San Juan, located between the mainland United States and British-controlled Canada. At the time, both American settlers and British subjects from the Hudson's Bay Company lived there, each believing they had the rightful claim to the land. But for the most part, they coexisted without issue. Until one fateful day, an American farmer, Lyman Cutlar, found a large black pig munching away on his potato patch. This wasn't the first time he had seen the pig, and this time, he'd had enough. Angry that his crops were being ruined, he grabbed his gun and shot the pig dead. What he didn't know was that this single shot would spark an international crisis. The pig belonged to a British settler, Charles Griffin, who was furious over the loss. He demanded compensation, but Cutlar refused to pay the high price Griffin asked for. What started as a simple dispute quickly escalated. Griffin reported the incident to British authorities, who viewed it as more than just a disagreement over livestock. It was a matter of national pride. Soon, British officials threatened to arrest Cutlar, and in response, the American settlers called for U.S. military protection. Before long, both sides had armed troops on the island, staring each other down over a dead pig. The British sent warships. The Americans deployed soldiers. The situation became so tense that a full-scale battle seemed inevitable. Fortunately, diplomacy prevailed. While some military leaders on both sides were eager for a fight, higher-ranking officials recognized how absurd the conflict was. The British admiral in charge refused to engage in battle over a pig, and the U.S. government also sought a peaceful resolution. For months, tensions remained high, but neither side fired shot. Eventually, both nations agreed to jointly occupy the island while an official border dispute settlement was negotiated. It wasn't until 12 years later, in 1871, that an international tribunal awarded the island to the United States, officially ending the conflict. The so-called Pig War had no human casualties, just one unfortunate pig. What makes this story even more fascinating is that this was one of the most peaceful wars in history. No battles, no deaths, just a ridiculous series of events that nearly led to international conflict. Despite the tension, the crisis actually strengthened diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Britain. It proved that even in the face of military standoffs, cooler heads could prevail. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe.